could have nice babies.
You're gonna love my dad.
That is a shirtless chef.
One of you bozos give me a stripper?
You're welcome.
Kind of hot in here.
Yeah. My friend getting pregnant tonight.
We wait for everything in our lives. We have to wait for them to ask us to prom, to ask us to marry them, until they're ready to have kids. Well, I am done waiting.
Don't cross the line. Don't pretend that you don't stare.
Getting a little help from gravity.
I love this party.
Who here has not had sex with Jacqueline tonight?
Did you have a gangbang at my birthday party?
No.
This is like The Bachelorette.
Obviously, I mean, you're uninvited to Thanksgiving.
Well, thanks for joining me today. Talk about the donor party. It was so funny. We were in New York a couple weeks ago. Some junket friends, some other critics of mine, and we were talking about what do you got coming up. And he says we were at dinner, and he goes, "Oh, I got the donor party coming up." And we're like, "The donor?" Because we always talk about what we're gonna do. I go, "The donor party," and we're like, "What are you talking about?" So we're googling. There's no junket or interviews coming up for the donor party, and we said it's a donor party.
Yeah, that's actually funny. It happens all the time, and an autocorrect will always go to Donner instead.
Right.
When I told my agent about this job, because I know Tom Harp, and he wrote this part for me, so he hit me up and gave me the audition information. I still had the audition for it, and my agent was like, "So what's the deal with this offer for this Donner party?" And I was like, "Oh, it's actually the donor party." And then I explained the plot to him. And he was like, "Okay, just send me paperwork."
Being a Las Vegas native, I know about every Donner party, movie there is, because that was the only interesting thing about Nevada history when I was in 8th grade was the Donner party, So
That sounds right. Yeah. Sure, fair.
well, the donor party is nothing like that at all. So,
No.
can you set up the film for us?
So Malin Ackerman plays a woman who essentially is fed up with trying to date people, and she's tired of dealing with all these scumbag dudes, and she wants to have a kid by herself without having to deal with like a dad that sucks or anything. And kind of her friends set up a party for her to meet eligible not bachelors, but like baby daddies, essentially. And I am one of the donors. I am Mateo. So yeah.
You're donor number 3, I think you're called.
That's in the trailer. I'm donor number 3. Yes.
Essentially, he's being robbed, right? Without even knowing it. I mean,
yes, it's like a sperm heist. Yeah, exactly. We don't know. It's a fun sperm heist. I mean, definitely Mateo's not complaining about it, but certainly, we don't know what's exactly going on. Yeah.
Hey, I don't think men would mind something of that in real life. I mean, because unless the women don't understand what testosterone does to men, it's just like we're just reproductive machines. We just go on and on and on. So I don't think I would mind being taken advantage of that way. I go, well, I'm glad I was there to help.
Yeah. Mateo is definitely a helpful dude. So you get that when you watch the movie.
Malin Ackerman, I love her. I mean, there she is behind me, and and she's a producer too. So what was like working with her? I don't know her much for her comedy, but she's really got great timing.
Sure, her comedic timing is unbelievable. She's actually done a ton of comedy stuff. She's done a lot of feature films, she's worked with Paul Rudd. She's worked with like everyone. She's done so much stuff. She was hilarious in Rock of Ages, which was like I'd seen her in Watchmen because I know she was in that, but I remember watching Rock of Ages and being like, I love her, and she's amazing, and she's so funny, and she's so like she glows. She like pops off the screen, and it was like that working with her. Our first day was kind of an intimate scene that we had to do, and it was the first time I'd ever met her. So I was like, I wonder how this is going to go, and she was just so graceful. And just such a good actor. Like the second we just interacted, I was just like, this is amazing. And it was so fun working with her. She's great.
And it's also, this movie has a who's who of comedians too. I mean, just how do you keep a straight face? Did you break character a lot?
I did a lot. So there were two. I think there'd be 2 people that made me break character. Jerry O'Connell is one of the funniest dudes on earth. And I had known him. I grew up watching him. I saw Sliders. I'd seen him in movies, and I've always admired his work. I just didn't know that he was so funny. And there were scenes where he's just he was just spitfiring these like improvisations, and I just burst out laughing. It was so funny. And Erin Hayes also is hilarious. She's a big improv person, really, really funny. Yeah, I had scenes directly with them a lot, and they are so funny. So yeah, I definitely broke character with that.
I was gonna say, when you have that many character actors around, so many comedians, improv had to happen, and sometimes the best stuff comes from improv, right? So was the director, did he encourage improv at times?
Tom Harp is a phenomenal director and writer. His script was like pretty much airtight, but he was so smart that he realized he was working with all these like comedy improvisers, so he would allow them to do things. He would allow them to just try. And yeah, he got, I think one of the Dan Adu from, he's from Cobra Kai, and he's also a comedian, and one of the lines that he improvised actually made it into the trailer. So yeah, Tom is very smart. He knew exactly how much to give, when to bring us back, and it was awesome.
And you'll make no mistake, Donor Party is an adult comedy in adult situations. Even the trailer made me blush.
Yeah. It's not for children. It's for children making, but it's not for children.
And everyone talks about you and your Jeff Goldblum impression, and so is that something? Do you do other impressions too, or?
I mess around with a couple of impressions here and there. I would say that I like doing like 1 second, like just like impersonations that are just like kind of an exaggeration of a person. I kind of do it with friends messing around, but I don't really do them. I think I look like Jeff Goldblum a lot, and I would say that a lot of people think I'm his child because my name is also Jeff.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one I watched so many of his movies. I saw he has done so many films. He's done some random 80s films. He did a movie with Cyndi Lauper. I think it's called Vibes or something like that. And he's just been doing. He's been in so much stuff, and watching his mannerisms, and it was really fun to do that. I'd met him before, and it was just it was kind of an honor to do this kind of thing.
The key to an impression, if you want to do Jeff Goldblum too, is to get one specific line from a famous movie of his and just do it over and over and over. That will, people recognize it. So go, you plan on having dinosaurs on your dinosaur tour, right? Or something like that. I mean, if just get some Jurassic Park lines from him and do it at parties and stuff, and people will eat it up.
Yeah. I've definitely, and again, I think people have told me that. I mean, since middle school, people have told me that I look like Jeff Goldblum, and I didn't really think it until I met him in person, and I think we both looked at each other and thought, yeah, I think we're related.
It's like when I met Jason Alexander for the first time. He looked at me and goes, wow, it's like looking in a mirror,
Yes, exactly.
That kind of experience. Well, Jeff, congratulations on the Donor Party, and it was very funny. I enjoyed it immensely, and thanks for joining me today. Let's talk again soon, and come visit us in Las Vegas. We'd love to have you.
Oh, that'd be rad, man. Thank you so much for the invite. Yeah. Thank you for having me also.